This episode of Creative Process is brought to you by Logo Serial. Logo Serial is a community-driven project that provides designers with bite-sized tasks to help them develop their skills. Each brief aims to challenge designers to try new styles and explore new areas of design through extension tasks. Each brief was written to simulate and reflect real-life businesses, and therefore, Logo Serial helps you build case studies for your portfolio to attract real clients. Real clients, people, real clients. Logo Serial also has a community of established creatives who offer their feedback and knowledge to help push your work even further. Join over 300 other designers and get started with Logo Serial today by using the link in the description. Again, join over 300 other designers and get started with Logo Serial today by using the link in the description. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Welcome to the Creative Process podcast with myself, Jared Klein. Today, as you can see, we do not have a guest on, but I will say this right away that it is early in the morning. It is 7:43 a.m. I go into work at 9, so I'm recording this on a Tuesday morning just so I can fit this in and be able to do this for you. We have a tough 2 weeks ahead of us. So starting today, we have 13 games or 12 games in 13 days, I think. So we'll pretty much be working for like 2 weeks straight. So 1 second here as I get some water. Also, if you do hear some background noise, it is currently about 95 degrees in Wisconsin. Actually, not right now. It's about 80 right now at 7:45 a.m. So I do have a little space fan chilling over there. You can kind of see it in the bottom corner, kind of down right there. You can see it right there. There's the fan. So if you hear some like wind going through the mic or something like that, or just some white background noise, that's where that is coming from. So I just want to let you guys know right away. But anyways, welcome to episode 6 of season 3. I hope your day is going really, really well. But today I kind of want to talk about something I had to get over within my profession here, and especially starting out in sports design. This is something that I thought sports design was only solely for. This is what I thought sports design was all about, and that is edits. It's just making player edits. If you've seen my 100 days, 100 design project on Behance, that's the type of stuff I thought sports design was solely about. I mean, obviously I could have thought, yeah, there's more than just making some extravagant edit for players and showcasing stats and everything like that. So I was kind of shallow-minded in there, but I guess I just had to experience it straight up. I just had to experience it. So I'm going to be looking both sides here. I'm going to be looking at the camera and OBS over here just to make sure everything's going well as my notes that I have on my other monitor, so you guys can kind of, so I can have some structure to this while I talk and be able to establish a good conversation for you guys to think about. And also, if you're looking to get into sports design, or if you're looking to keep going within sports design and you haven't passed through this type of stuff, or you haven't crushed this mental blockade of what I had to crush, odds are you already have if you have been working in sports design, and I'm just inexperienced. That's why I had those questions. So yeah, let me get into it. So basically, sports design isn't all about, making those extravagant edits. Yes, I still make those, one-off. We do player posters every month, and actually, I think either today or Thursday we have a player poster giveaway, and it's an awesome one. I'm super excited for that. We have like a pop culture type of theme going on this week. We have like Star Wars night, video game night, stuff along those lines this week, and I made the player poster kind of comic themed, so it kind of fit into that whole pop culture type of theme that we got going on this week. So anyways, but yeah, I still make, at my job, I still make and have the chance to make, those one-off player edits and make it, showcase the player and showcase them as nice as possible. You know, I still have that opportunity to kind of do that every once in a while, but that's not really what my job is all about. For instance, I'll start going down some bullet points here. For instance, like for the team, we have to work on, you know, branding certain things, certain social media segments for content. We do like Throwback Thursdays. We do Wallpaper Wednesdays. We do some different things on TikTok, especially when it comes to sponsored stuff. That isn't, you know, super relevant on TikTok, but on our regular social, there's a lot of different sponsored content that has to go out relating to game day coverage, certain promotions and everything like that. So branding social media segments for content. We also have to brand road reports. I did this yesterday. This is sponsored. We had to brand this and make a completely, you know, one-off graphic template that we use every time, you know, every time a recap is used for the team being on the road. Specific theme nights, like I kind of mentioned already, going through, you know, social media coverage and even working with our social media profiles. We have to brand those out for the specific theme nights and make sure those are going along the lines just to kind of immerse our fan base fully in that theme night. So moving on into social media coverage for game day coverage and player coverage. It kind of goes hand in hand, but game day coverage, I kind of already touched on that a little bit when it came to theme nights. It's more like the final score and lineup graphics and that type of stuff. Final score, lineup graphics, theme those for the theme nights, because the lineup graphics that we make, some of them get used throughout the ballpark and like wayfindings and stuff like that. So make sure everything is on theme, especially these next 2 weeks. We got theme night after theme night after theme night. So making sure everything is on theme, and if a fan comes in, isn't sure what theme night it is, they can look at the graphics. Oh, hey, this is what it is. Moving into player coverage, for instance, I use the example of making call-ups to our team and then moving up from the team. So coming up to high A or moving up to double A, making call-ups, or double A or triple A, wherever the player is going. Those call-up graphics, basically from scratch. Obviously, we had some branding to work off of that we've been using for social media and everything like that. So we had some structure to work off of, but making content for those. Next would be, again, promotion for theme nights. I keep going back to theme night. It's a big thing in minor league baseball, so doing that thing. Player highlights, showcasing how a player is doing. Some simple, some are extravagant. Sometimes the players get player of the month, player of the week. So just giving you an instance of some different social media content and some different graphic design content that I have to make. And then just moving into team coverage, standings, stats, etc. Obviously, moving outside of, you know, just digital social media stuff, we create digital billboards for our marquee signs that we have on each side of the stadium, on the sides of roads. So we have to create those in Illustrator. We have to make sure those promote. Oop, I just bumped the shit on the mic. We have to make sure those, you know, truly showcase the theme night and everything, and the upcoming events at the ballpark, and telling fans that are seeing it when the Timber Rattlers are going to be home next, you know, what deals are coming up, what type of promos are coming up, etc., etc., etc. Another thing as well, we have to make a lot of print stuff, especially around the ballpark. Now, one thing with the concessions, our menus are digital that we use. So we have, you know, TV screens we create digital, but we still have to format those, make sure all the items are on there. We have to make, you know, one-off. Sometimes if we have a special, for instance, Pride Night is tonight, we had to make a special, you know, 8.5 by 11 sheet that we put up in a little insert, put that next to the concessions. And then also going along the lines of, you know, specific promo material for, you know, print. We had to make mailers earlier in the year, make mailers in the off season. We had to make, you know, printable material for our beer that came out with our Outer Tuggers, alter ego or different identity. We had a beer, so we had to make print and digital promotion for that. Basically, I guess this is a small team, so, you know, your experience may change if you're with a bigger team, if you're with, you know, more people on your team. So that means you have more of a specific role. But for myself, working where I am now, there's only 2 graphic designers on the team, so we both have to take on a very broad range of different types of graphic design projects. I guess just to keep going with like print, we have a play ball that comes out for every homestand, so we have to construct pages for print, make sure they're working well in InDesign. So we make them usually in Illustrator, make sure they're formatted for InDesign and be able to plop into InDesign. So some of them are full bleed, some of them are, not full bleed. I know my responsibility for a lot of the play balls is to make a get to know page, so making sure everything's readable, especially at that size. It's like, it's smaller than 8.5 by 11. I want to say it's 5 by 7 or something like that, something close to that size. So we have to make sure everything is readable, and also taking into context how the viewer is going to be viewing these type of things. So yeah, there's a plethora of different things. I know some people, when they get into sports design, they are hired on specifically, especially in freelance, just to make these awesome edits. And if you're doing that, you go for it. Obviously I'm talking from my experience and getting into a low level, a minor league baseball team, especially minor league. You don't see that many big creative teams, so you have to kind of be a jack of all trades type of scenario. On top of regular designing, we have to clip highlights for games. We work through a software called Diamond. It's online. It's in collaboration with MILB, so minor league baseball, and we have to I had to learn how to clip that, and then obviously move them into Premiere and compile those when we have to make highlights and everything. So there's a bunch of different mediums that I specifically have to jump through and jump into. We haven't jumped into motion yet. Granted, I don't really know motion yet, so I haven't had to dabble in motion. But I know the senior designer that I work underneath, Nick Gunther, he knows a little bit of motion. He knows how to edit a little bit better than me. He knows a little bit more, actually a lot better than me. He knows, a little bit more information on the programs that we use sometimes. So working under him is a blast, but also he's been working within the industry for about 6 years, 7 years, or 8 years maybe. So being able to learn from him has been awesome, but we have to dive into completely different types of mediums every once in a while, just to fulfill just to fulfill and be able to carry out a project that we need to get done. So there's a lot of things that we have to dive into. There's a lot of different hats that we have to wear. There's a lot of different things that we have to do. There's a lot of different, goals that we have to hit, and there's only 2 people on our team. So we have to learn different types of ways to get stuff done within this. So I know this is going to be a shorter episode. We're about 12-ish minutes in right now, and I just wanted to get this out here and be able to tell you guys my experience, and that sports design isn't all about making those cool edits. Yes, they're super fun to do. Coming from me, I made 100 of them in 100 days, and I wasn't short of not having, I had fun every single time I jumped into a project. I love doing edits. I love doing that type of stuff, but I've also grown to love doing the completely different types of marketing material, the completely different types of promotion material and everything like that, diving deep. If you want to see how I compiled theme night graphics for our social graphics and for our game day coverage, go to my Twitter right now. They're on in my media, in my images, and you'll see they're like screenshots of artboards, just a Photoshop doc completely filled with artboards for with all those lineup graphics. So lineup graphics, final score graphics, and everything like that. So yeah, it's a really good time. If you're working freelance and all you got to do is edits and everything, you're really good at doing edits. You're really good at showcasing players. You're really good at getting really good content for these teams. More power to you. Honestly, that sounds like a lot of fun, and that's an end goal for me eventually here. So kudos to you for doing that. But I just wanted to give a little bit of insight into what I do, into just showcasing that sports design and what I work in isn't all about making cool design edits. And I think that is for people wanting to get into sports design, I think that's that's a thing that everyone sees first when they come into sports design, and then they kind of move out of that. So I just wanted to share a little bit about what I do and everything like that. So thank you for coming out today for episode 6 of season 3 for the Creative Process podcast. I hope you have a good rest of your day, week, month, whenever you are listening to this. And as always, make sure you tell someone that you love them. All right, take it easy. We'll see you in episode 7. Peace.